guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my brows and pretty much everything that I do with them, how I fill them in, how I groom them and just maintain them. And I'm going to be showing you the products that I use every day because I like to do more of a natural brow every day. So the product that I like to use every day, and this is more of a natural brow, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in Brunette.
Let's do that again.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about my brows and what I do to groom them, fill them in, and just maintain them on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to be showing you the products that I also use, and this is pretty much my everyday routine. What I first like to start off with is just telling you that my brows are definitely not twins. They are sisters. One is different than the other. I don't know why. Throughout the years I've had always an issue with my brows. Sometimes when I was younger, let's start off by saying when I was younger and when I was in school, I was always into the thinner brow routine and I would always over pluck my brows. It's funny, I used to have really thin brows, and I'll insert a picture of myself just to show you how thin my brows used to be. And I never went for a thicker brow, but that, I don't know, I guess that was the trend growing up in school. But yeah, as I grew older, I usually let my brows grow just a little bit thicker. I don't like them too thin anymore. But I always thought that that was the trend in school, and that was what everybody was doing, of course. But now I like to keep them a little more bolder, and I'm actually letting this one fill in just a little bit more because this one is thinner than this one, and I think I over tweeze sometimes. But I like to pluck my brows with tweezers. I've gotten waxes done maybe twice in my lifetime, and waxing to me is a little painful, so I don't like to wax. So I just pluck them myself. I used to go to someone to get my brows done, but when I saw that they were doing them too thin, I just decided, you know what, forget it. I just want to do my own brows my own way. So what I like to use is just a regular pair of tweezers. I got these from Forever 21, and these are actually really good. They were like $3, but you get this one and you get this one in a pack. And I guess this one is for those little hard to reach hairs that you want to just pluck out. And then of course this one has a wider tip for that. But I use these maybe every couple of days just to maintain them and just to tweeze the little hairs that come out from underneath and on the over the top. And the way I groom my brows is with these little scissors because I have some hairs that are longer. And I usually take a spoolie and just brush them out and just snip the top of them when the hairs are a little too long. So that's what I do to groom them and maintain them. Now to fill them in, I like to go for a more natural brow on a day-to-day basis. So I like to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in Brunette. And this is what I go for when I want a more natural brow, everyday brow routine with this. Now if I'm in a hurry and I don't have the time to fill in the sparse areas of my brows, I like to use the Gimme Brow by Benefit, and this is amazing. These have what they call little fibers on a small little mini spoolie like that, and it's so easy just to brush it through your brows, and it kind of adds like little hairs into those areas where you need it, and it's so quick. You just brush it through it a couple times and it actually sets your brows also. So that's just a really quick way to do your brows and just go out the door that way. Now when I want a more bolder brow, and this is for special occasions, if I'm going out, I like to use the NYX cake powder, the eyebrow cake powder, the eyebrow cake powder in ECP02 dark brown / brown. I like to use this one. This brow powder is really good. It's very affordable. I haven't tried very many brow powders out there, and maybe I should, but when my brow routine is very simple, everyday, just natural brows, I don't really look into very many brow products for that. But yes, if you're really looking for a good brow powder, I really recommend the NYX eyebrow cake powder. So that's a really good option to use. Now I'm going to go ahead and just show you a zoomed in closer look on how I groom and fill in my brows. So here we go. Alright guys, so I brought you a little bit closer. I don't have a zoom feature actually. I have to literally sit in front of the camera as close as I can because I also need my mirror to actually see what I'm doing because I can't literally do my brows while I'm facing the camera. So what I like to do is just get up close, and I have a mirror in front of me so that I can see exactly what I'm doing. My brows are really not that thin. They're not that sparse. I'm actually pretty okay with my brows. If anyone else has experienced this, but when I go to sleep, I like to sleep stomach down. And when I do that, I'm actually face down, and I sometimes like to put my hand in front of my face when I'm sleeping. So I feel like in the morning I will wake up with a couple of bald spots in my brows, like some of the hairs are missing. And I think that's what's causing it, the fact that I sleep face down with my hand in front of my face. So I don't know if anybody else has that issue, but what I like to do is just take the brow pencil and fill them in. But before, I like to just make sure, because every now and then my hairs will get a little longer, I like to just take a spoolie and just brush out my brows first, just so that I can see if any hairs are longer than all the others. But I do brush them through just a couple of times just to get them straight out. Now I have a little bit of hair right here that's a little longer than the rest. So I just take my little eyebrow scissors that it came with the kit, and I'll go ahead and brush it through, and then I'll take these scissors and just at the very tip of it, just snip it. Very, very lightly. Only at the tip of it. You don't want to groom it. You don't want to snip too far in, because then your brows are just going to look terrible like that. You'll definitely mess up, and that's not a good thing. So yeah, that's how I groom them. I literally just brush them up and out and just check to see if there's any strands that are a little longer than the rest, and I'll just take the scissors and then just snip it right through, and then I'll brush it back. I normally don't have any hairs that are usually long, but it's usually in the middle when I have that issue right here, when it's just a little bit longer. To fill them in, I actually use this, and I love using this every day. It's quick. I do take a few minutes to fill in my brows. It doesn't take that long for me to do it because I've actually practiced a lot doing it, and it doesn't take me that long anymore. But I love the fact that the Brow Wiz has the spoolie at the end of it. So as you're filling them in, you can use the spoolie and just keep combing it through, and this will actually just spread the product through your brow, so it actually maintains it even better. So yeah, what I like to do is just take the spoolie, brush it through again, and then I take the crayon itself, the pencil, and just put it through just a little bit. I don't ever twist it out too much, and then it just allows that little tip to come out, and I just go ahead and fill in whatever areas I see that are a little bit without hair. What I like to do first is just start over here and do light strokes and just line it a little bit on the bottom of the brow. Very lightly do I brush through, because you want to make sure that the brow stays as natural as possible right here in the corner. You don't want to add too much product, because it's okay that it's not as dark. But I start very lightly in the middle, and I just fill in whatever spots that are actually needed. And then I go ahead and move on to the middle, because I'm actually showing that there's a few spots here that are a little bit bare. Sometimes I like to draw a line, sometimes I just leave it the way it is and just draw underneath just a little bit, just to fill in very little. You want to keep the brow looking as natural as possible, so you don't want to press too hard with a pencil into your brow. I like to go on the top and just kind of like line the brow. I'm doing this brow first because this is the thinnest brow, and I like to match this one as close as I can to this brow. So then I just like to draw a little light line and above the arch, just to accentuate the arch a little bit. Now when it comes time for the tail, I like to pull out the tail just a little bit so that it'll match the other brow. And when it comes to the tail, also, you can't press too hard, because if you do, then it'll just be like a long stub of a tail, and you don't want that. So you just want to like flick it just a little bit. So that's pretty much what I do to match the other brow, just to keep it natural. And after you're done using the whiz, or the brow whiz on that side, you would just want to go back in with a spoolie and just comb it out and just lightly spread the product through the brow. And that's it for that brow. I'm going to go ahead and move on to this brow. Again, you just want to take the spoolie and just comb it through the brow to just keep the hairs even. And my own hair is getting in the way. Now this brow is not as thin or as sparse as this one, so I lightly fill it in. I don't have to overdo it or anything because it's already looking as natural. So I just fill in as much as I can. And I'm trying to be within the frame of the camera so you can see. Sometimes that's a little hard to achieve. That's pretty much all I do with my brows. I don't carve my line out or try to even the line out or crisp it out to make it look really even with concealer. Only on those days where I need to. I'd say those days where you need to pluck but you don't have the time to pluck, using a concealer to carve underneath the eyebrow would actually hide the extra sparse hairs that you need to pluck but you don't have time to. I don't do that as often because it just takes too much time. So I just like to just use my eyebrow pencil and just brush out the product, and then the rest will just be covered with regular foundation or eyeshadow or anything like that that you use. But I'm pretty content with my brows. Sometimes I'll over tweeze, and I'll also use the eyebrow pencil to cover up any areas that I made mistakes on or stuff like that. That is my eyebrow routine, how I groom them, fill them in, and just maintain them. And I really do love my brows. Not to toot my own horn, but I really do believe I was blessed with really good brows. And I love the fact that they're low maintenance. I don't have to do much, and I really do like my brows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really quick, easy, and like I said, some of you have requested this brow routine video, so I'm so glad that I was able to put this up and just show you how I fill my brows. And I really hope this will help some of you in doing your own brows. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've got more fun videos coming up for you, so stay tuned for that. And so until my next video, I will see you guys soon. Bye!
Channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my brows and everything that I do, products that I use, what I I do to groom them, maintain them, and fill them in on a regular basis, and of course on those on those days. So products that I like to use, and this is more on I'll start this again. My goodness.